Hey everyone, this is Pete from Handicap Outdoors. Welcome to my first video. I'm just out here at a new fishing spot. It is almost October 31st, Halloween. It is almost 50 degrees. I don't know, it's still really cold. Water temp is about 40 degrees according to National Weather Service. And I'm going to try and catch some panfish if I get lucky. I'm going to try and rig one of them up and try and catch a catfish. I've never caught a catfish before, so we'll see how it all goes. Well, let's get to it. I'll show you a spot. Alright, everyone, this is the spot that I'm working with. We got a nice little V-shaped lagoon here. There's a bridge over there behind this tree off in the distance that empties out into this tiny lagoon. There's a bunch of small piers like that one, another one down there, another one behind the trees, and lagoon goes about 300 yards that way. It's about 100 yards long. Got a couple laydowns right here, and this is about a 3-foot drop onto this small sandbar. There's a small walkway down that way, and a small one down here by this laydown. First tip for those of you who have difficulty walking, like myself. I have a smaller neurological condition, so I have to use a cane. I'm actually supposed to be in a wheelchair, but I can use a cane sometimes. I'm going to try and sit down here on the flattest spot possible, closest to the water and closest to any laydowns, a tree laying down in the water, a bush in the water, because fish like to congregate in those small areas. They really like that. So I'm going to try and get my stuff down here, set up, and show you my rigs. Alright, the first rig that I'm using, I have a Zebco Mercury. It's just a small reel, less than the size of my palm. And I have this kid-size Zebco Hot Shot, or Hot Reels pole. It's just a made in China. It's not even rated. And it's about, 4 foot long. I have this little bell on it just because I'm going to be rigging up some other poles at the same time, and I'm going to be looking away from my bobber. And for my rig, I like to use these snap rings. See if you can see that. I like to use snap rings and swivels just because it's easier to switch rigs. If I'm doing lures and stuff, I like to do just a snap ring, but it helps so you don't have to tie as many knots. And if you tie good knots, you don't have to do as many. Below that, I just have one of these simple round bobbers. I prefer the stick bobbers, but these are all I had with me today. Below that, I have a 1-inch green and silver shiner gulp minnow on a small hook, rigged like a drop shot, using the poor man's drop shot method. I think it was pioneered by Realistic Fishing Channel. Shout out to Realistic Fishing. Keep it up down there in the south, dude. It's a lot better weather down there, I tell you. But I have just I think it's an 1/8 ounce split shot at the end of my leader. And I'm about, I want to say 14 inches to my hook. And then the bobber I can just move. So I can fish on the bottom, I can fish wherever, but it gives it a good action, and I rigged it drop shot style so that the minnow would stay roughly horizontal. Otherwise, if you rigged it normal with the sinker above, if you can see that, the shiner would just sit, you know, vertical, and that doesn't look like a real fish. So that's a good hint when you're fishing something like these gulp minnows or something that looks like a little fish, to rig it so it looks like a little fish. So I'm going to throw this out there and get started on my next rig, and well, we'll see if I catch anything. That works. Alright, so it's a little difficult to cast this big thing, but little cherry just dropped. Nice little twitchy action. And I seem to have lost my bell, so whoops. See if I can find that. Maybe it came off behind me. Everything else is still there. Isn't that embarrassing? Alright, I'll just keep that out there and see if I catch anything. Well, nothing over here. Let's see if we can get a bite on the retrieve. Been in the water about half hour. Tighten up the line. It looks like I got a little bit of matted grass. That came off the end of the split shot there. Well, it doesn't look like there's any teeth marks on the hook. So let's toss it back out. Sidearm. I could run this without the bobber and run it like a normal drop shot lure if I wanted. have another rig set up. I'll show you that one and then I'll toss it out. Well, next up, my next rig I'm throwing is a Zebco slingshot. You'll notice that I really like Zebco, and I'll get into it in more detail when I do a video on gear for handicapped individuals like myself. I have a Zebco slingshot combination you can pick up in the store. I think the slingshot was faded out and replaced by the Doc Devil. It's basically the same setup. It's set up for small panfish and whatnot. It is roughly 5.5, 6 foot long. And on the end, if you can see that, I have a small 1-inch crankbait. Just picked that up at Walmart. It was on clearance. So, I thought it looked cute. I've seen these tiny crankbaits catch bass on other videos. So, we'll see what they can catch, if it catches anything, out here. And I figure this Zebco slingshot would be a good rod for, you know, being a nice casting rod. So, start casting. Behind me is clear, and oh, that did not go very far. That is a very lazy small wobble on it. Well, see if the fish goes for it. I can barely see it when I throw it. I can only throw it about 20 feet. Maybe I need to add some weight to it. Nice slow retrieve. Not meant to go very deep, so yeah, maybe I should add a split shot to the front of this, see if I can get some more distance on it. Is that even in frame? Yeah, I think I'll try adding a split shot to the front of this. See if I can get a little more distance, and I don't think the fish would mind. Putting a split shot right in front of that little keeper there. It might help a little bit for distance. Look at that. Right there. Take my forceps I had dropped in the mud and clamp that on. Maybe it might make it run deeper, maybe not. We'll see. I like that color though. Nice little natural fish color. And this water is nice and clear too. I can see about 6 feet from the bank. It's about a foot deep. It's really nice. It's a nice clear day. The wind's picking up now. It's starting to get a little chilly. Well, let's see if this thing will cast better. And trees above me, and ooh, I got about 10 more feet. See if I can see that while it's coming in. And it actually goes towards the bottom now. It's actually got a nice little up and down motion now when I pause. Kind of like a jig head. Jig head in a soft plastic. Yeah, that tiny 16th ounce got me a good 10 feet extra for casting. Let's see if there's anything. That sucked. Huh. Interesting. Just saw a seagull hit water over there. Must be some bait fish. The other side. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Seagulls having a blast over there. But that's a dock. And fishing from docks, when you have difficulties, not the best thing. Cast the bank, and I hit the bank. Well, at least I didn't get snagged. It's a nice little crankbait. It's been 45 minutes here at this spot, and I see seagulls all over the place over there. You can see them over there in the distance too. Seagulls over by that pier. Just going after those tiny fish. I'm in the wrong spot. I got plenty of time. Plenty of daylight left. Let's move spots. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. If you like that, hit like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and join me for part 2 of my first video. It was a little long, so I had to cut it up a little bit. This is editing a few days later. Hope you enjoyed. There's more to come. Thank you very much.